Watch this video, find out what celebrities wear hair. What celebrities wear hair systems? Number 1, Charlie Sheen. Now, Charlie Sheen has been wearing hair for a long time. Most of his hair loss is in the front, but you see him with a baseball cap on quite a bit, so that means he's not wearing hair when he has a baseball cap on. Number 2, Ben Affleck. Now you see him in all those different movies and different times throughout his career. His hairline always looks a little different. Check this out. Number 3, Elton John. Now, I've been a longtime fan of Elton John since I was a small child. And when I first started seeing Elton John, he was follically challenged. And then, he got some big old wig. Check this out. John Travolta. Mr. Disco. What the hell do you put on your head? Sometimes it looks like a magic marker, sometimes it looks like a wig, sometimes I don't know what it is. But John Travolta has always worn hair, and not the best. Check this out. Kevin James from King of Queens. Now, Kevin has always wore pretty good hair. I give him credit. At first, I wasn't sure if he wore hair or not. Then, after watching him for a while, you see this is a little different and that's a little different. But check him out. Sean Connery. Now, Sean Connery. Who would have known Sean Connery wore hair back in the 60s and the early 70s? His hair looked fantastic. In fact, when I first got into the industry and found out that Sean Connery wore hair, James Bond wore hair, my question was, if you have this kind of product available, how come everybody else doesn't wear this kind of product? How come there's all these bad hair pieces in Hollywood and walking around the streets? Check Sean Connery out. Ted Danson from Cheers, or some of you might know him from NCIS Las Vegas. But Ted Danson has wore hair his whole career, even back in the Cheers days. He was going to hair club and getting his hair back then. Basically, they were giving him a crown piece and putting it over his good hair to cover up his crown hair loss. Check him out today. Pretty good hair. Nicolas Cage. Now, Nicolas Cage is an example of what I was told when I first got in the industry of why actors and actresses and musicians have bad hair. And I was told that relatively they're cheap. And when they get a movie or a television show, in their contract, they get to have so many hair systems. Well, they get to take them home with them. But if they don't have a movie or they don't have a show for years, they wear them until they get rehired again because they don't have any more money. Check him out. William Shatner. Now, William Shatner goes back to the 60s and wearing hair. And back then, it was amazing. 3 or 4 of the guys on Star Trek, the original Star Trek, wore hair pieces. The Doc and him. But as William Shatner got older, in the last 5 to 10 years, somewhere in there, he finally found a good hair replacement studio where they are giving him a really nice full cap wig. Age appropriate, color is good, spot on, very impressive. Check him out. And last, number 10, Bret Michaels. Now, Bret Michaels wears a headband to cover up the front hairline because it's so thick. Andre Agassi, back in the day, if you remember him, if anybody knows who he is, he's a tennis player back in the 80s that was this young, good-looking guy, and he wore a bandana or a headband all the time. He had this big 80s hair underneath it, but then he married Brooke Shields, and Brooke Shields made him take that bad toupee off because it must have really smelled him playing tennis and that thick wig he wore on his head. Wow. So she didn't have it, and he shaved his head. Still looks better with hair if he had good hair. But hygiene-wise, I'm sure he was much more approachable than he used to be before Brooke Shields. Check him out. Bret Michaels. In order to be a rock star and I guess jump all over the stage and bang your head down and back and forth and throw your hair around, I guess he had to wear a headband to attach it. I'm sure he's got tape underneath there and everything that he can possibly secure that headband with in order to keep that hairpiece on top of his head. You either see Bret Michaels with either a bandana or a cowboy hat. Check him out. All right, guys, that was 10 celebrities that you did or didn't know wore hair. If you know of any celebrities that might be wearing hair or have the inside scoop, let me know in the comment section below, and we won't keep their secret. Otherwise, if you've liked my video, let me know also in the comment section below. I really like your comments, and that's how we all stay in touch. So, again, hope you enjoyed my video. I'm Steve Luttrell, your hair loss consultant, and this has been The Real Deal. Have a great hair day, guys.